Hello, it is Sunday, April 27th, 2025. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Sunday puzzle today, so we've got a big grid, and not only that, we've got a grid with an explanatory note preceding it. So, something about picture clues today. We'll have picture clues. Oh, actually, I only just realized this. I do see some emoji icons poking through the privacy veil there, so we'll get to these soon enough. In any case, this illustrated edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Kathleen Quinn, Quotidiophile, and, as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to the four of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They do sustain this channel. They keep it going day in, day out. I'm very grateful to them for that. Thanks to those four. Thank you to everybody who supports the channel via Patreon. If you'd like to do so, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons. And for benefactors like the ones I've just mentioned, the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses official mug. Thank you so much to the patrons of this channel. And thanks as well if you subscribe on YouTube, which is a big help and spreads the channel. And finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, a nice friendly chat community linked in the description field. All right, let's get on to today's crossword entitled Numbers Game. This is a Sunday-themed crossword, a Sunday-themed picture clue crossword by Jacob Reed, who's constructed a small handful of puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, as always, by Will Shortz, and let's quickly read this note. This puzzle is intended to have picture clues. If you're solving on an app that hasn't been updated, you might see a description of the missing image file instead of the intended clue, so watch out for that. If you aren't able to update your app, you can solve online or in print to get the full solving experience. All right. Well, we'll just have to see what that's all about. I have a version of this page in which I've removed that note to ensure that we don't push anything out of frame. So I'm switching over to that for now. This is entitled Numbers Game by Jacob Reed, edited as always by Will Shortz. Let's start solving. All right. Oh, right. Okay, look, I can see some... Interesting. So these are illustrated, but they're text, they're numbers. They're numbers in the style of sort of calculator-style LCD screens. Interesting. What on earth is this? Do they spell words? In the way that, people used to sort of turn calculators upside down so that the letters sort of the numbers appeared like letters and spelled out words. I don't know. Oops, we'll get there. But for now, let's get back to the initial clues. Don't mention it. No problem or something like that. Not sure. Government organization that investigates accidents. Oh, there are probably several organizations that do this depending on the mode of transport, but the National Transport Safety Board, I think, is one of them, the NTSB. I think they investigate road accidents, maybe other kinds as well. Don't mention it. No sweat? Yeah, that's a common way of... Oh, no, that doesn't fit. Never mind. Probably no something. Spoken. Yeah, something spoken is oral. It's said aloud. And a sudden dose of reality in slang. This will probably seem obvious in retrospect, but I don't know at the moment. Right, and here we have one of these. Let's see, can I figure out what this is? If we did turn this upside down, it might say Big Sleigh Boss Santa Claus. Right, okay. I think that's what it is. So we've got... Right, an upside down 8 kind of looks like a B. An upside down 1 just looks like an I. It looks the same. An upside down 6 looks like a lowercase g, and so on. So we've got BIGSLEIGHBOSS. So Big Sleigh Boss is Santa Claus. All right. So I think that's what that's all about. So it's interesting that we have emoji in there as well. That's so odd. I wonder how that connects. So what's this one say? This one says Bilbo's ring, maybe? Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit, I guess. I was trying to remember if it was The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings. I think Bilbo's The Hobbit. So Bilbo's ring, is that what that is? The One Ring? Yeah, it is. Okay. I think that's what that is. So, yeah, BILBO, and then we've got a decimal sign serving as an apostrophe, and then I think we've got an O just serving as a ring shape. A zero in that case. Okay, so yeah, we'll keep going. Sheep's peep. A sheep might bleat. It might make a bleating sound. What a whistler whistles. A whistler whistles a tune. And blank girl, at a girl, you might say encouragingly. Nevertheless, I don't know. What about this? Jimmy Kimmel's network. I don't know. ABC, maybe? That would fit. Let's see. The American Broadcasting Corporation. Don't mention it. Not. No. I don't know. Why can I not say that? Sudden dose of reality. Oh, truth bomb. I think that'll be correct. Okay. Oh, maybe it's NBC, the National Broadcasting Corporation. Let's see. Does that help with this? Don't mention it. Not. Okay, for some reason I just can't. I can't see what this is, and I don't know why, so I'm going to leave out the Broadcasting Corporation here. Okay. Or company, or whatever it is. So here we have a kind of crying, laughing emoji. So that's LOL. I wonder why we have these in here as well as the numbers. And then here we have 3 crying, laughing. That's LMAO. Okay. Are those connected to the... Do we have others in the downs? No, we just have those 2. There might be a revealer that explains what's going on with those. I don't know. We'll have to get there and see. But don't mention... Oh, not at all. Yes, you could say, oh, don't mention it. Not at all. So this was ABC. Okay. And then, nevertheless, is... That's... Yeah, okay. Nevertheless, that said, there's still another thing to point out here. Poly blank, so poli-sci, political science, a sort of university-level course or area of study, field of study. And then the source channel. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. It could be CBS, obviously. I mean, or CNN. Swiatek of women's tennis. Oh, Iga Swiatek, I think, is a tennis player's name. Let's see. Food-centric broadcasts originating in South Korea. Oh no, I saw this once and I found it incredibly off-putting. I don't remember how on earth I ended up seeing this, but it's called mukbangs, and it's a odd, South Korean derived video format where someone sort of just eats food incredibly messily. I have to say, I did not get the appeal. So the source channel, okay, it looks like it is probably CNN. This is probably the first time mukbangs has been in the New York Times crossword. Okay, PC platform of the 1980s is, I hope I'm remembering that correctly. I think I am, but I'm not certain. PC platform of the 1980s might be, MS-DOS, yes, Microsoft Disk Operating System. That was preceded Windows. And then, right, here we've got one of these. So this looks like Bee Gees plus Boogie. What does that mean? I don't know what that means in this case. Bee Gees, the band, presumably, plus Boogie. So just kind of referring to, like, presumably still Boogie in a musical sense, but I don't get what we're looking for. Okay, of service is useful or utile in 5 letters. 100-acre wood resident, right. So 100-acre wood is where Winnie the Pooh lives. So Kanga is one of his neighbors. So let's see. Oh, it's the songs. It's the Bee Gees song Staying Alive. Oh, it's not Bee Gees plus Boogie. They're just using plus as a space, I suppose. So it's a Bee Gees Boogie. It's essentially a Bee Gees song, of which one is Staying Alive. All right, well, there we go. So one way to play it, you could play it by ear if you're, literally, I suppose, you could play something by ear as a musician if you have no sheet music, but also people use that sort of figuratively to refer not to music, to just sort of do things off the cuff. So broke bread is dined, and then one of Chekhov's 3 sisters. So in the play Three Sisters, there's the sister Olga, And then here we have another one of these. So this says Google dash log. Google log, a search history. Yes, there we go. Okay. Well done thinking, fine. Thinking of all these things to spell using these letters. I guess it's just a question of assembling your set of letters from what you can produce from upside down numbers, and then I guess just going from there. You're just using a reduced set of words. Reached a base horizontally. Oh, in baseball probably. So you slid into that base. Okay, holder of valuable contributions in brief. It could be an IRA, an individual retirement account. So you contribute to an individual retirement account as a U.S. tax-advantaged financial instrument. So floral subject for Van Gogh, Monet, or O'Keeffe. So each of these artists had irises as their subject, as one example. So rapper Kid Cudi, I think, Cudi, is a rapper. Is that? I think that's correct in how you'd spell this, but let's just check. One of the Marx brothers, Chico Marx is one of the Marx, was one of the Marx brothers, I suppose. Yikes could be uh-oh. And either of the two statues in front of the New York Public Library, right? So there are two lions, two stone lions famously in front of the New York Public Library. Great lion statues. And then film excerpt, you could have a clip from a film. And a lucky lottery winner's cry could be, I'm rich, you've won. Okay, honest to goodness would be something real, I suppose. It's an honest to goodness example. It's a real example of that thing. And a sleazeball, oh, maybe this isn't right. Sleazeball, this doesn't look correct. Cheapo, maybe? This would be an A. Honest to goodness. Maybe that's wrong. Is it? Don't know. What about this? When tripled, you know what I'm saying. Yada, 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 maybe? Oh, yeah, yada, yada, yada. You get it. You already know. That would work with real. Maybe that is right. Boiling. If you're boiling, you're incredibly angry. You're irate. And a period of abstinence from TV, news, social platforms, etc. could be a media diet, maybe, or a media fast, perhaps. We need more letters than that. Media. It's telling, I think, that they wrote social platforms rather than social media, which makes me think media probably is in the answer. Because if they had written social media, we would not be able to put it in the answer. Okay, sleazeball, a creepo. Okay, I guess that, yeah. I don't know that I've necessarily heard that before, but it's pretty easy to understand. A person's a real creep or they're a creepo. Okay, I think that's probably right. So that would make honest to goodness indeed real. And then an anatomical sac is a cyst, right? There we go. And it's in the bag. Tea is in the bag. It's literally in tea bags. And often you might be wondering why this has an exclamation point like this. When we have a clue that is not in quotation marks and does have an exclamation point, it usually means the clue is being said about the answer rather than, if this were in exclamation points, if this were in quotation marks, it would be an exclamation. It would be something someone's saying. They'd be saying it's in the bag, and we would need an answer that means it's in the bag. In this case, our answer doesn't mean it's in the bag. We're just looking for something that is in the bag, in this case, tea. Hopefully that made sense. So, all right, here's one of these. So we've got high heels, stilettos, right? So stiletto heels named for the long knife, the stiletto to, evoking the knife from the long heel of the shoe. There we go. And I don't think I've seen most. These are all new sort of calculator phrases to me. Oh, right. Here's one anyway. Might as well look at this. So this says, she is Ellis Bell. Right. Ellis Bell was one of the Brontes? Which one was Ellis Bell? It was, there was Ellis Bell and there was Acton Bell. Was there a third Bell pseudonym? I don't remember. But definitely those were Bronte sisters' surnames. Emily would fit here. Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte, brought to. Yeah, okay, it would be Emily. That would be the only one that would fit. Okay, great. So that's correct. So she is she is Alice Bell. It reads like a sort of cryptic bit of graffiti you might see kind of echoed around a city. Okay, sort of less off-putting. Who is John Galt? Junior and senior abbreviation. These are years of school, secondary education or higher education. Garment for one who's wearing a wire, a bra. So you could have a wire bra. So that's obviously a bit of misdirection because you're meant to think of someone who's, wearing a microphone surreptitiously. Okay, like some marriages, seating, and musical compositions. Arranged marriages, arranged seatings, and arranged musical compositions in the sense of, arranging music. Okay, a vita in a vita. So that would be a vita. Perone. Sorry, Evita Perone. So Evita Perone, who's the subject of the musical Evita. Excuse me, of the obviously the political family. And then we've got pitchfork feature. You've got right. A pitchfork has prongs. And to chew the scenery would be to emote. So to chew the scenery, to kind of act big and over the top somewhat on stage. And then humorist Bombeck, Irma Bombeck, she comes up occasionally in the crossword. If one tended to a Zen garden in a way, one raked it because you have this sort of sand and pebbles or what have you. I guess the sand that you're raking. Okay, shepherd's staff is a crook, shepherd's crook. And some kindergarten art supplies. Crayons. Oh, no, it's not crayons. Crayolas? Crayola crayons? By the way, say. Yeah, okay. Say could mean by the way. I was thinking about this. So are these Crayolas? It's interesting that that's using a brand name there. But they are very common art supplies. So let's see. Some opinion pieces are, op-eds in a newspaper you might have. Whoops, op-eds. And what a hot dog might do. I don't know. Oh, right, okay. Not a hot dog, the food, but what a dog, the animal who is hot, might do is pant, because that's how they sort of perspire. List ending abbreviation could be et al. You could end the list with et al. To indicate, and the rest. Cry after putting one's pencil down. Done. You might be finished with an exam and you put your pencil down and say done. Married mujeres. Señoras. So this is married women are, señoras, which is the term for married women. So there we go. Okay, so device used to read the 8 visual clues in this puzzle would be a calculator. Excellent. And then what's this one here? This says how to read the words written on this puzzle's calculator, right? Upside down? Yes, good. Okay, excellent. So we've got our revealer upside down calculator. So we don't have I don't think there's any reference to these emoji. You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, emoji is now encoded as text. So actually, I suppose these aren't even, I think these are not part of the theme. I think these are technically not considered picture clues because they're actually just text. On most devices now, they're encoded as text and are just part of the sort of capability of the devices. So I think actually these are just irrelevant. I wonder if they were just sort of put in there as a little slight bit of misdirection with respect to the kind of picture clue nature of the theme. I don't know. But anyway, I don't think they're actually relevant to the theme, and I don't think we're going to get a revealer about them. But I think we have, at this point, cracked the theme regardless. So let's get back to the puzzle. Rolls. Could be bread rolls, could be buns. And cannabis variety contrasted with indica. I don't even know if I'm saying this right. Indica or indica. Anyway, sativa is a cannabis variety. So anyway, how detectives might act. They could act on a hunch or on a tip, or one of those is too long, one too short. They could act on a clue? I don't know. Hint? Headquarter, question mark, base. You could base yourself somewhere, headquarter yourself there. No, maybe a quarter of your head, a lobe on a, I don't know. Attack it as a castle. Oh, siege. Oh, this is wrong, I guess. Is siege a castle? Headquarter. No, I was right. Sorry. This is storm a castle. That's what that is. And then headquarter, it is Loeb. Okay. Or at least it seems to be. So detectives might act on a, I don't know. What about this? Computing company whose logo has remained largely the same since it was introduced by Paul Rand in 1962, IBM. It is a great logo. And Bush Sr. and Carter each had one. So those were two presidents who served one term each. And then how detectives might ask, oh, on a lead, they say, I've got a big lead. There we go. And then something bogus would be a sham thing, something fake. And then down for the count in brief could be, don't know, emphatic words of denial. Swear or something? I don't know. Italian diminutive suffix, ino, to make something small, like ina for feminine. Word whose letters are aptly found from left to right in Sion. Ion. Oh no! It's not. They're not. They're not consecutive letters. So it's S-O-N. It's sun, because a sun would be an heir or a scion. There we go. Okay. So Bear's counterpart, someone who inherits. Bear's counterpart on Wall Street once. Bear Stern, right? Yes. Okay. So the one-time Wall Street firm Bear Stearns. So you read this and you think, bear and bull, as in animal spirits, financial markets, that kind of thing. But nope, it's referring to a former company name. Okay, courtyards are atria, the plural of atrium, and tough customer for a wedding planner. I don't know, micromanager or perfectionist or something, I'm not sure. Debussy's Clair de Lune, this is a famous piece of music that you probably recognize. And brain tests for short are, I can never remember if this is ECGs or EKGs and if those are the same or they're different. I think they're the same, actually. But I could be wrong about that. You can tell me in the comments if so. Ones providing help around the house are aides. So a house being capitalized here, I think, is referring to the U.S. House of Representatives, and you often hear about congressional aides in kind of U.S. political coverage. Here we have emphatic words of denial. So that is so not true, you might say, emphatically. Oh, I was wrong about this. EEGs, it was neither of the things I said. Sorry, I definitely got, what I said was absolutely, definitely wrong, and someone will tell me. Someone will explain how. Okay, like a lover's lips, perhaps. They are kissable. Right, okay, that's straightforward enough. So down for the count in brief is KO'd, knocked out. And then tough customer for a wedding planner is Bridezilla, right. I don't remember how this was coined, but this is a phrase that's been around for a couple decades now, I think. Jazz singer Carmen McRae. That sounds familiar, is that right? Six-pack component. Yes, a can of beer, for instance, a six-pack of beer or soda or something. Blank point, match point, or don't know. Advance, a loan. You're given an advance on future earnings. You're given a loan. So, don't know point still. Show that didn't win 43 of its 54 Emmy nominations. Why does it say That must be significant. That must be communicating something, but I don't know. I don't know what. Is there a show called Loss or something that didn't win or lose? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, right. Here's one of these we've not yet solved. So this says hillbillies booze. Right. Okay. I don't think I've seen a Z in here before from the two. Hillbillies booze would be moonshine. Right. There we go. Sort of bathtub gin, that kind of thing. Okay. And tough spot for a teen could be a zit. So a spot on your face. And a crew is a team. Page that points to other pages is an index. Right. The index page in a book. Alan of Marriage Story, Alan Alda was that Noah Baumbach film? I think I did see that. So that was Alan Alda. And then one of three on the Mayflower. Don't know. A mast? Was that a three-masted ship? Mayflower famously was a ship that sailed to North America and set up, English colonies. Was it? I guess it's a three-mast ship. I guess. Blank point, a moot point. Show that. Oh, it is Lost. Oh, right. Of course, there was a show called Lost. Sorry. Oh, goodness. Yes. I don't know why I didn't until just now. I didn't actually connect. I guess because the first word I said was lose, and so that's not the show. Yeah, of course there was a show called Lost about people lost on an island. Anyway, sorry. I guess it didn't win 43 of its 54 Emmy nominations. Okay, so oodles of is many. Gourmet mushroom type is morel mushrooms. Style of writing, a font, you could say, is a typeface, a style of writing. And lunacy is folly. Root word is, I don't know. What is that? Ale? Like root beer? Don't know. Bumpy jumpers are, don't know. Does it mean jumper like a woolen sweater? It's bumpy like it's thick wool? I don't know. Okay, so here we have Bolshoi shoe. What? Oh, like the Bolshoi ballet, presumably. So a ballet slipper. That's what it is. There we go. Okay, so yes, this is referring to the Bolshoi ballet, the famous Russian opera company. Okay. And then bumpy jumpers. I don't know what that's about. Possible polling problem. You could have potential bias in a polling organization that could lead to inaccurate results. And ship shape is tidy. Yeah, if this room is ship shape, it's tidy. That seems right. So bumpy jumpers are. Oh, toads. Oh, right. Okay, I was on the wrong track entirely. Yes, they jump around and they often have bumpy skin with, warts or whatever those are. So Blank Tour, record-breaking music event of 2023 to 24. This must be Taylor Swift's Eras tour. And then gait faster than a walk would be a trot. So that would be a horse's gait, for instance. And then a website with a personalized and custom jewelry page could be Etsy, where homemade goods are sold. And then heart, the gist of an idea could be the heart of it. And comedian Notaro, Tig Notaro is a comedian, a stand-up comic. And then if you goaded someone, you egged them on. So egged on. Like the weather around a lighthouse may be foggy, hence the need for the lighthouse. And a period of abstinence from TV, news, social... Oh, right, this is the media... Oh, sorry, it's periods, plural of abstinence. I don't remember if I pronounced it that way, but I don't think I took it into account. So media fasts, plural. And then in reserve for now, it's on ice. It's waiting for you to use it or drink it or whatever. And then Blank Moriarty, novelist who wrote Big Little Lies. I actually saw the show on which this was based. I did not read the novel, and I do not remember. Is it Leanne? Maybe? Coming-of-age Pixar film of 2021. Oh, Luna. Okay. So I think it is Leanne, actually. Beers that might punnily have hop in their names for short. IPAs, yes. You have all kinds of goofy puns with hoppy IPAs. India Pale Ales. And then some large structures for pet owners are... I don't know. Do I have something wrong here? This looks strange. Oh, is this not Luna? Is it Luca? Is this the one with the... I actually didn't see this Pixar film. This was one about the Italian mermaids or whatever they were. Okay. Some large structures for pet owners. Cat something. Corrals? Cat... Oh, condos, maybe? Do you call them a cat condo? Sort of little apartment for the cat? Maybe. Let's see. Sinus specialist for short. Yes, an ear, nose, and throat doctor, an ENT. And then POTUS 34. 34. Is that Dwight D. Eisenhower? I don't know it by number, but the DD, I'm trying to think who else it could be. I think it's got to be Dwight D. Eisenhower. And then if you gave someone a thumbs up or something a thumbs up, you assented to it. Splendid is good. And Tolkien character who dies as the Grey and returns as the White. That's Gandalf the Wizard. Gandalf the Grey, Gandalf the White. Old sayings or saws, old saws, weathered old bromides, an old saying. And baseball features, plural, are stitches, or I'm not sure. Half of a noted magic duo. So Penn and Teller are a famous sort of comedy magic duo. And the PGA Tour is an annual sporting series. I think that'll be right, the Professional Golf Association Tour. And yikes is egad, a sort of light oath. And then baseball, I was on the right track with stitches, actually. Baseball features are seams, so the seam running around the baseball. Okay, so line in old Apple ads, right. So you had the I'm a PC, I'm a Mac ads with those two comedians whose names I cannot recall. Suffix with proverb. Oh, the proverbial, olive branch or whatever. Okay, and then Morales on the screen. Isai Morales is an actor. Pretty sure that's right. And they're rising over time. Oh, sea levels are rising, so seas are rising over time. And then name shouted in a streetcar desire famously, Stella. Okay, and then riverbank material is silt. You could have silt deposits along a riverbank. And city where tourists take photos pretending to hold up its famous landmark would be Pisa. And the good photos there are always the ones from off axis where you just see a bunch of people inexplicably sort of pushing their hands against empty air. Longtime Japanese camera brand. Oh, Pentax. That's a camera brand. I don't even know that I knew that was Japanese, but I mean, it seems perfectly plausible. Word with kitchen or angels. Hell's Kitchen or Hell's Angels. So Hell's Kitchen, often the name of, bad, sort of supposedly bad neighborhood, and then Hell's Angels, the motorcycle gang. Renaissance locale of the early 20th century. That would refer to the Harlem Renaissance of New York City in the early 20th century. And then a naysayer is an anti, someone against. And finally, I think, oh no, this is not the end of the puzzle, sorry. An adult male deer is a heart. We are soon at the end of the puzzle, but not yet. Adirondack chair part would be a slat in the chair, I guess. And then a steady stream is a flow. Subject of a class with dummies in it could be, a driving test or something? A driving class or something? Subject, I don't know what this is, with dummies in it. Anatomy or... Sorry, I'm not quite sure what this is. Purple yam in Philippine cuisine. Oh, what is this? Uza? Sorry, what about this one? Head honcho, top banana. No, okay, I was wrong. So, with whatever I was thinking. So, it's CPR. It's cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So you might be taught CPR using dummies. So that's the subject of the class. Okay, so head honcho is top banana, and then it goes to the mat, the wrestling mat. It goes to the mat, wrestles, and then this is, I actually don't know how to pronounce this. Is it ube? I'm not sure, but it's the purple yam in Philippine cuisine, and there we go. That is the Sunday crossword. There we have it. I think reasonably approachable as far as Sunday crosswords go, but of course it's a big grid, so it still takes a while. And let's take a look at our theme. We've got a series of upside down calculator messages used to read 8 visual clues in this puzzle. So let's just quickly review those. We've got the big sleigh boss, who is Santa Claus. We've got Bilbo's ring, the one ring. And we have a Bee Gees boogie, which is Staying Alive. We've got Hillbilly's booze or moonshine. We have a Google log, your search history. We have a Bolshoi shoe, a ballet slipper. We have high heels, stilettos. And we have She is Alice Bell. I really like this one, which is Emily Bronte. And there we go. We've got 8 upside down calculator-based clues. I don't think I've seen that in the crossword before. Let me know if you have. And how you fared with this puzzle. Let me know in the comments or the Discord chat server. Always curious to know. And there we have it. That was a big Sunday grid full of some unusual clues. And I'll be back tomorrow for the much more straightforward Monday crossword, so do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Sunday. Take care.